All righty, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Late Night Green, late night edition.
How's it going?
Yeah, man, we're back. What's going on, guys? Excited to be here tonight. We got a good show for you, and we've got some stuff to go over. So let's say hi to everybody first. The Todd Father.
What's going on, Philly Phil?
What's cooking, my brother?
Hey, man, good day going on. You know
Yeah?
what I mean? We flowing today.
Well, we flowing? What? Anything new?
Nah, man, same old, man. Just keeping it groovy.
So how do you operate on no sleep? You do well on no sleep?
No.
You're not a good no.
Nah. I need a little sleep.
Man, and so last night I didn't get a ton of sleep, man. So I'm like, before we leave here, I'll be like up 24 hours.
Really?
So hopefully I make it through, man. That's what I'm hoping for.
I catch a nap when I do.
You do?
Oh man, I love me a nap.
Bill, there was no time for a nap today.
Yeah,
I can tell you that. I would have liked to think that maybe I could have squeezed one in, but it would help.
You know, if it's only 10, 15 minutes, it's still better than nothing.
I guess so. But anyway, Bill, welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
I had a nap. I feel good.
That's good.
No, actually, I didn't have a nap today.
So Bill and I last week and Jeff went to the Champ show in Atlantic City, and we'll talk about it on the news and stuff, and we'll cover it. But listen, Champs puts on a decent show. It's a good show, and it was
Great venue,
well executed, good venue, all that. But my goodness, the entire show was 100% hemp.
Yeah.
It wasn't even 80 or 90% hemp.
Right.
It was 100% hemp, and most of the cannabis players, they took a pass on that show.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But it did cause us to rethink hemp a little bit, didn't it?
Well, I mean, it made us ask the question about what is the strategy of all of these vendors that are there.
That was a big one, right?
And you're investing money with this potential November date looming.
TikTok.
What do you do?
Farm bill coming.
And we talked about this on the way. Like, what do you do? You can't pack your bags up and say, hey, this is coming, because you don't know if there's a lifeline that's coming.
Right.
And you certainly can't stop, but you also, what do you do?
I mean, potentially, everyone there could be out of business completely come November.
They could. But what do? You can't stop.
Yeah, hey, they're making money right now. They
Right
keep
now.
moving, and who knows?
Who knows what's going to happen? It could be the last at 11:45 midnight on the night before. It could happen.
And everything's been trending that way for the last few years anyway towards hemp. So
yeah. So we have that going on, and Bill's gonna.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We have some news we're going to go over tonight. That's all interesting and whatnot. But we also have some other stuff going on that we want to share with you. So first and foremost, why don't we put up let's put up the graphic real quick, and I'll tell everybody what we're doing. But on 420, guys, this is big. We are doing a 10-hour, 8-show continuous live broadcast. Wow. I think we're the only ones doing this right now. But we will be going to different places across the country, tapping into different events. This is the place, guys, where you want to be on 420. If you're not at an event, you're stuck at work, or you're at home and you want to see what's going on all over the place in 420, this is going to be it. We're going to start at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern. We're going to go all the way through midnight. We're going to call this 420 across America. So we're going to celebrate it. We're going to celebrate it. We're going to have a festive time here at the studio. We'll be broadcasting live. And so here are some of the things, guys, that you can expect on our 420 Across America broadcast. So we're going to start off, and we're going to do the 420 introduction show. Todd Father, I, Bill, there'll be Harlem's going to be here. Canologist's going to be here. So we've got a lot of folks that are going to be here. We're going to, I don't have the full schedule. We'll show that on Thursday. But we're going to go from there to the Harlem Reporter.
Right.
He's going to be doing, 3 to 4. Then we're going to do the Magic Hour, 4 to 5, where we're going to hit a bunch of places. We'll have 3 sets going on that, guys. We'll have Harlem going. We'll be on the Cough Country News set. We'll also be here on the Late Night Green set. So we'll be doing that. After that, Bill is going to take you for a deeper dive in some of the more nuanced stories for the day, some of the 420, maybe a little bit of the history, stuff like that. So that's what Bill will be doing. After Bill, we will be moving over to the Canologist, and Steve will be here live in the studio mixing some drinks.
Awesome.
But
Looking forward
most,
to it.
yeah, we're going to be drinking good that day. But most importantly, he's going to show us. I think what he's going to do is show us the drinks that he's going to make for the segment coming after, which is our main feature for the day. And so, Jeff, if you've got that graphic, put that up. But let me introduce you guys to the 420 King's Feast.
Look at that, look at that.
So what we're doing here, guys, is, and on Thursday, we're going to show you the exclusive invitations. And if you're lucky enough to get one, make sure you get here, because we are having a 6-course cannabis-infused meal, along with
I'm gonna order my Uber right now.
along with cocktails by the Canologist. We will have a 2-hour segment. We will be in a Victorian dining room, fine dining, 6 courses. We're going to learn about the courses. We're going to learn about the cooking. We're going to taste it, talk about it. We're just going to have a good time. We're
Awesome.
going to drink and be merry.
Yeah,
we're
bring
going
an
to
appetite that day.
right, bring the appetite. And I guess, though we're not kings, we're kind of kings and shit, but we're going to eat like kings, and we're going to be a part of the King's Feast. And so I'm excited about this. And then, guys, after that, that's from 7 to 9. From 9 to 10, we're going to do a Late Night Green pregame show, and then a special edition Late Night Green from 10 to 12 to finish off the special extravaganza of the day. What do you guys think? Pretty good?
I can't wait to see that show at the end of the night.
Yeah, it's going to be happening.
It's going to be happening. So, guys, be sure. We're going to continue to put information out. We're going to make sure you guys know all about it. But the 420 King's Feast on 420 across America. We'll start telling you
good.
we'll start telling you guys which venues we're going to be at. And we'll also going to be at a bunch of venues the 2 days before. So the 18th and the 19th, which is a Saturday and Sunday, we're going to be in a bunch of different places. I believe there's going to be a broadcast on Saturday, but we'll get the times and all that dialed in. But yeah, we're going to have a lot to show you guys. We're kicking it on 420 across America. That's our broadcast, 10 hours on Monday. April 20th, starting at 2 p.m. So, guys, make sure that you keep a lookout for the notifications. And then I guess the other thing is that there's another episode this Friday coming out of the Canologist. So Steve is back at it again, and he's got another cocktail for mocktail, I should say,
Yeah.
for us to review this Friday night, 7 p.m. on the Canologist.
Any sneak peek about what we can
Thursday, there's a sneak peek.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
can't get it today. You got to get it Thursday. There he is, Steve, the Canologist, Friday night, 7 p.m. Please, guys, go give him some love. We got to get some action going over there.
Steve.
And if you want to go to our live tapings in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and you want to be one of the people who taste these drinks on Steve's show, then you definitely want to sign up. Make sure you guys hit us up. And I will tell you more about our new Discord server, Cough Country TV, on Thursday. But there's going to be a lot of stuff that we're going to be able to do with that Discord server with you guys in terms of participation, sharing, and stuff on the side. So I'm excited about it. Did I say enough?
I think
said
you said a
enough.
lot.
I
yeah.
said enough.
I'm really
We got the
impressed.
announcements
Yeah.
in. All right. It's not my favorite part of the show, but I'm glad we do it in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get
'cause
the heck over
by
with.
the time the rest of the show is unblazed and we are where we are. All right. So, guys, let's jump into some of the stuff we're talking about tonight. We'll do the news after the commercial break.
Sure.
But before that, we've got a couple things to go over. And more and more often, we're seeing the cannabis story and information about cannabis bleeding over into the mainstream, right?
Yep.
So, and Jeff, I'll just ask you to kind of put this up and we'll kind of peruse through this. But Will Cain show, he's on Fox News. He interviewed, do you have the article real quick that we can kind of look at? And this is an article, and his name is Alex Berenson. And this op-ed or whatever this opinion piece that he wrote is I warned. Can you go back up real quick again? I warned about cannabis dangers 7 years ago, and nobody wanted to listen. So I wanted to just kind of show you guys the article. But what we're going to do is we're going to look at certain clips from this, and we'll just see what we think about it. Because, you know, they come pretty hard at cannabis, and, you know, then the excuse is, you know, what about alcohol? Why are you ignoring that? And then they want to say, well, you can't fight one argument by bringing up the dangers of another product, and that is
That's
true,
fair. Yeah.
fair enough. So we've got some videos, and I don't know, Jeff, is there anything worthwhile in that article that you wanted to point out? All right. All right, so why don't we pull up the first video? I think this is kind of an introduction to this segment. This is Will Cain. He does a pretty decent show on Fox. It's not your typical Fox show. It's a little different in the sense of its format. Obviously, you know, a lot of the same talking points and whatnot. But yeah, here's Will Cain.
Robert Duvall. A peculiar thing has happened. More and more Americans are using THC, are using marijuana.
Which has THC.
Suddenly, those who proclaimed it the mark of freedom are warning against the risks to your brain, to your mind, now of marijuana.
All right, that's his opening.
Okay.
Marijuana has become so.
Is Willie Nelson warning people?
All right, we'll keep playing it. We'll see.
Acceptable that almost everyone we know at some point uses THC. And that was encouraged in no small part by popular culture and in some parts science, medicine, and journalism. A few years ago, the New York Times wrote as an editorial, "Let states decide on marijuana." In that editorial at the time, they stated that there are no real noticeable evidentiary health risks to marijuana use.
Okay.
So if you don't let people use it, how are you going to know if it's bad for them?
Yeah, so far,
He's not really making too much of a statement about anything yet.
it's just
He's laying his
Just talk
groundwork.
without
it's a
any
bunch
detail.
of right.
Yeah.
So far, okay.
To admit that it has a problem with marijuana. Over 18 million Americans use THC more than 21 days a month, and there's increasing evidence that it has connections to psychosis, to mental health issues, and that is no surprise to my next guest, who has written about this, who's written a book entitled "Tell Your Children."
But his book, that's a hell of a place to cut the video. But
Business, okay? If you're an advocate of legalization of cocaine or cannabis or whatever drug is your favorite drug or whatever drug you think society should legalize, it's in your interest to pretend that all drugs are the same. Just as it was in Brando's interest or his political leanings to pretend that he wasn't any different than the CEO of General Motors, right? I'm just selling a product too. And these people in the drug, legalization world, again, whether it's for profit or nonprofits, they want to tell you that cocaine and caffeine are basically the same thing. They're both just stimulants. And, THC is just like alcohol. Well, it's not just like alcohol. And frankly, there's some ways in which it's less dangerous.
okay, let's stop here.
Well, he's making up his own opinion because I don't think the average person thinks that.
But here's what it was in response to. What it was in response to is Will Cain said, well, often in the conversation in defending cannabis, people will say, well, what about alcohol? Right. And I often say that because people who spend and put this under a microscope and want to bring up these, these very obscure scenarios, they're not, it's not the way it really is. I mean, these scenarios that he describes is not what we see when we talk to people. It's not what we see when we have people in here that we interview.
Right.
And so while I agree with him that you shouldn't use something else in comparison, I think you have to some degree make the comparison because one gets completely ignored and socially acceptable, and one is put under the microscope and picked apart with with tweezers.
Right. No, I think it's.
You have to look at it fairly.
Yeah, so that's what he was responding. So he was saying if you're a drug dealer, whatever the drug is, if you're a cocaine dealer, then of course you're going to say that another drug is worse than the one you do. I just think the argument's weak.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sometimes, and it was sort of low potency and a lot of work. And yes, you could get addicted to it. You could smoke a lot of it. You could use a lot of THC, but it really wasn't that easy to do. Now we're in a position where this very powerful chemical, THC, which is the active ingredient in cannabis, you can just vape it. You can go into a store, buy it, and vape it by the hundreds of milligrams in doses that would have been basically unthinkable a generation ago. And so or certainly 2 generations ago.
It's progress.
And he's looking at I say that is progress. What do you say?
His argument is still kind of weak.
Tell me.
Now, I get it. If he has some serious points like psychosis and if it's some, factual things behind it, I'm not downplaying that.
No, and nor am I down for real young people doing it because
Right.
we already know that doesn't really turn out that well.
Right.
Now, he does
So beyond that, he's not really stating anything.
Hang on, Jeff. Go ahead.
Yeah, I kind of agree with what he's saying a little bit in that everything that you can get a hold of nowadays is just so strong.
Okay.
That if you're a casual user, it can be very difficult to, to
measure out.
control your dosage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if one toke or one hit or whatever is already too much for a casual person, like it's hard to get anything that's less than those max THCs because that's all anybody grows it for anymore. They just want that number to sell it.
What do you think?
Yeah.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everything's like 30, 33%. Like
That's
you can't
true.
buy
For your
15
casual person.
It is,
you
but
can't buy like mild stuff anymore. Like
But
15% or something.
Yeah, I mean it's much harder to find. You're right, but at the same time, we also have talked much about the fact that you can get pretty fucked up off a much lower percentage of THC with some of the older shit.
And,
Yeah, so yeah, go ahead and keep playing it.
Alcohol wrecks your body in ways that it has to be one of the worst drugs for you physically, for your own body.
Yep. Yes, there's no question that even moderate alcohol consumption it can damage your liver. You gain weight. I would say that actually may be one reason that it has been accepted over the years. Right? What do I mean by that? I mean that alcohol, you sort of have to, if you want to become an alcoholic, you have to push through that, or you have to push through the pain, the hangovers, the sure knowledge that your body is giving you that this is a problem. And I'm not going to say it's not, because I would agree with you. With cannabis, because there really isn't, a lot of physical symptoms. I mean, now with the super high potency stuff, you can get this what's called scromiting, this cannabinoid.
There's not a huge
paramesis.
price to pay for doing cannabis. To your point,
That's right. There's not a big price. For moderate cannabis use, there's not a physical price to pay, and
So if there's no physical price to pay, is it even fair to assume that there's no physical damage because it's a medicine? It's not a poison like alcohol?
I'm trying to see where he's going with that.
I mean, my problem with this is that, we're comparing very different things, but he wants to put them in the same realm. That's the part I'm not 100% with here.
Here's the problem, right? Cannabis, some people don't like the high at all, but some people really like the high, particularly if they've started using when they're relatively young, and they use a lot. Okay, and so once you get out of that, the equivalent of the 1 or 2 drink a day paradigm, you have a real risk if you're using, certainly when you're as a teenager, of developing a permanent psychotic disorder. Now that's the worst thing I think that can happen to basically anybody in life. All right. It is devastating for the person. It's devastating for your family. I'm not saying that there's a 50% risk or a 10% risk of that happening, but you are probably tripling, possibly even quadrupling or quintupling your risk. It might go from,
Might.
Just making up numbers.
Might.
1% to 5%. These numbers sound small, but the consequences are devastating. Okay, so psychosis.
You might
So
be
he doesn't
halving
he
it.
doesn't know the exact percentages, but he knows that it's a very big risk. I mean, when people want something to fit in their narrative, they go out of their way
Right, to sell it.
to sell it, to make it fit, to use the language to make you feel like they're confident in what they're saying.
He's saying,
But
it
he
could
did a
double
poor
it.
job because he doesn't know his information.
Right.
Well, I
it
mean,
could
that-
double it, it could triple it,
I
it could
think-
half it.
Absolutely.
As far as you know, it could cut it down by a quarter.
I think that clip really did show the fact that he's reaching in terms of the comparison that he's making. Now, as far as the point in terms of kids and developmental issues,
Kids
I don't
shouldn't do
think
it.
anybody here is going
Gonna
to tell
debate that or-
I don't think anyone here is going to debate that or tell you that we think that that's wrong, because we don't. We think it's
Right.
think
We
it's
want
right.
anything to harm the kids, yeah.
But a lot of kids smoked weed over the years. It turned out just fine, and so I don't know. Everybody's different, but that's not an argument that I'm going to take on, because I think there's plenty of studies that say that.
So I may ask you, are you okay?
Am I okay?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, there's something wrong with me sometimes, man. All right, we'll keep playing.
Exaggerating all this other stuff. Wouldn't disagree about this. Cannabis ruins motivation for a lot of people. It makes them apathetic. It messes with their memory. And I know multiple people.
Okay, I
Will,
think
I'll
we
bet
heard
you
it.
do
This-
too,
he's really
who went
just-
to college. They started to use pretty heavily, and now it's 10 or 20 or 30 years later even, and their lives are sort of stuck. They never got married. They worked, and then they stopped working. Maybe they worked
He's
again.
not
But
getting
really,
any
their
either.
lives are built around cannabis and THC in a way that if it were any other drug, someone would come to them and say, you have a really, really big problem here. You need to start living. And they don't.
I mean, do you think that maybe this problem is actually someone's lifestyle?
Right.
Could it possibly
Right.
be their
They're
lifestyle?
happy and they're fine.
And what is so damn wrong with taking pleasure in the fact that you participate in something that actually helps people?
It makes
Like,
you feel good.
makes you feel good. It's absolutely nuts that this is the way this guy's selling it. He's
And
also
your friend
wearing.
might just be clinically depressed for other reasons and is trying to self-medicate with marijuana. Mm-hmm. Like look into your friend, check in on your friend there.
Yeah, and also he's wearing a Mind the Gap T-shirt.
What's that about?
Mind the Gap is what they say in
the UK.
In the UK,
Right.
when you're getting on the
tube, the tunnel.
tube, yeah, whatever. So he's already un-American to begin.
It's already
with.
on my nerves.
He's American. He's un-American.
Holy Jesus.
He's un-American. All right, here we go.
If you use a lot of THC, you can wind up with short-term psychotic episodes. You can get paranoid. I mean, I think basically everyone who's used cannabis or THC at more than a little has had an episode of paranoia. It's just sort of intrinsic to the drug. Now, that for most people, that passes. Okay.
He knows so much. This guy's not a doctor. Clean yourself up, bro. Put that picture back up real quick. I want to give him some advice.
If you use a lot of
No,
THC, you can wind
pause,
up.
Just pause it. Bro, if you're going to show up for an interview, don't wear a UK Mind the Gap T-shirt. UK's got all kinds of shit going on that I don't know why you want to put your name on. And clean yourself up a little bit for the interview, man. You're not looking. It's not looking that spiffy.
He's got one eye closed, like he looks like he's high.
Yeah, I don't know. I would say don't trust him, guys. That's my point.
All right.
All right, that's enough of him.
Yeah,
I think
enough
that's
of that.
enough.
Enough of him. All right, so we are going to do a little bit of an exercise amongst the four of us tonight, because Jeff is going to participate as well.
All right.
And what we're going to do is Bill's got some cards for us to use, and we're going to fill this out. Jeff's going to give us a question. It's going to have a blank area, and what we're talking about is we're going to try to bring you guys some industry truth tonight. Okay. So what's going to happen is we're going to get a question that we have to fill out, and then we're going to write the answers down, and we're going to share it with each other and chat about why we put the answer we put in. Sound fair enough?
Yep.
Jeff, you ready to go? All right, cool. Let's do it. So let's pop up the first one. I don't know. You want to put it on the rear screen? All right, let's do it. Okay, guys. So the industry truth that people don't say out loud, but we get to say it out loud. That's the beauty of it.
All right.
Hey now. All right. So we're going to work on the business side of things first. And the first statement is the cannabis industry is way more blank than people think.
This is like Mad Libs.
All right. So, I got music for this. Okay, everybody got their answers locked in?
Got it.
Okay, Bill, what did you say?
I said the cannabis industry is way more organized than people think.
Okay, why did you say that?
I think a lot of people think, stoners are running the shops and stoners are running the businesses.
Fair enough. And you think that they...
But I think business people are doing it, and business people are fighting the battles, and business people are getting the loans, and business people are putting themselves out there to deliver product.
True, and they're paying the exorbitant fees to get in this business. What you got, big guy?
So I say that the cannabis industry is way more difficult than people think.
Yeah.
Okay, that's true too.
Yeah.
It's not an easy business to
Not
be
an easy
in.
business.
When you have to deal with cash, you can't advertise, you can't take expenses, all types of reasons.
It
that this-
sounds sexy and fun and all of that, but it's a lot of business to do.
Right on. And so what I put is the cannabis industry is way more resilient than people think. Because I think that, when we're talking about something it's a difficult business, it's not easy, right? There are business people doing it, but it's here to stay.
Yeah.
And so with all of the pressure coming from every single angle and the fact that it's not easy, they're pretty resilient. Mm-hmm. So that's what I put in there.
All right.
Jeff?
Okay, I got the cannabis industry is way more corporate than people think.
Ah,
You have a lot of TV shows.
your talk back's on.
You have a lot of TV shows where it shows, hippies and stoners and, like Bill said, like unorganized people running the show, but it's all corporate. It's multi-million-dollar corporations with lawyers and, they hired, clean-cut looking people to run their show. It's just not what people think. It's all corporate.
Right on. It definitely is
Yes,
way
It's
more.
still a business.
And not only that, but you can even go as far as saying that even in the last 5 years, it's become far more corporate than it was just 5 years ago.
Yeah, being a stoner is not an advantage of being a business owner. That's two separate things.
Yeah.
It is. That is true. It is not. There's nothing automatic in this business, man.
We'll put you at the register.
I think a lot of people think that shit's automatic in this business. You're selling weed, you're making money. It's just not the case, man.
Well, remember we had the story about Ice-T's partner going out of business in North Jersey,
Right on.
right?
Right on.
Yeah, I got a comment over here from Panchito Tokes
Okay.
about our last segment.
What
asked,
did Panchito
he said,
say?
"Who is that clown?" And then he said he's scromiting.
Oh, you know what, brother? I'm with you. This scromining, man. We can't even get through a show without hearing about
Say the word.
scromiting anymore.
I think that's a little short fad that's going to blow over in
I
like
hope,
15 minutes.
man. I hope so. I hope so. Okay, so the next one we're supposed to solve is most brands are actually just blank. All right, so you know what I'm going to do?
Talking about brands or strains?
It says most brands
Okay.
are actually, you can look there too, actually just And guys, at home, if you guys want to play along, put your comments in here.
Yeah, Panchito, why don't you put another comment in? We'll give your answer. Just.
Okay. All right, so I'll go first on. I put most brands are actually just marketing and packaging. That's what I put. How about you, Todd, father?
Yeah, that's what I think. It's pretty much it's just a selling point. So
What'd you write
more so
down, man?
marketing. Yeah, it's just marketing.
You wrote marketing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I almost wrote marketing, but then I thought back to the first question. I thought struggling. I think a lot of brands are struggling.
It's true. What do you say, Jeff?
I actually was saying marketing also. That was my first thought.
So,
You know what I mean? It's just like cereal brands. You know, they're all most stuff's made by the same people. It's all the same seeds, the same
Right.
techniques. Like
Corn
nobody's
flakes,
doing
frosted
anything
flakes.
special.
I'm working
Yeah,
on
it's over packaging.
Yeah. So we're going to do an episode on cannabis packaging. I'm working on getting the right people to talk to us about it.
Okay.
I think the whole notion of cannabis packaging and over packaging is kind of a fascinating topic.
Over packaging.
It's really, in many cases, we're talking about an industry that is going crazy with packaging.
So
too
what would
much
be an
packaging.
example of over packaging?
That means that you got like two things to open before you get to the third thing to open to get to your thing that you're trying.
Pre-roll inside of a tube, inside of a
6
package.
ounces of
inside
packaging to have 1 ounce of,
Right.
product.
And listen, the shit ain't very green. If we're kind of focusing on being green, right? Green industry,
Yeah.
green industry. Shit, man, we're gonna have to cut back on some of the packaging, man.
Do you think? What do you
It's
think?
not conservation for sure.
It is not.
But speaking of packaging, what do you think of the colorful packaging?
Well, I
that's
mean-
the packaging that seems to get the industry in trouble. Kids think it's candy.
Yeah, but like
But
that's
that's
a
different from when you're talking about medical and dispensary.
That's what I was
type
saying.
thing.
I think that's more
different.
applicable when we talk about the hemp and the gas station products and all that stuff. All right, cool. Next question. The next statement. There's way less money in this than people think, or way more. So this is a choice. Do we think that there's way less money in this than people think, or way more money than people think? I need a lock-in sound, but I don't have one, so I'll
works.
use that. Yeah. All right. So, Bill, you want to go first this time?
I'm kind of split on this, and I hate being split on things, but there's less money in it for the guy who owns the dispensary, but the big guys at the very top always make money.
But do
that make
people?
sense?
But do people think that there's way less money in this, or do they think that
I think
there's?
your average person think there's way more money in it.
That's what I think.
You open a dispensary, you're going to be rich.
Right. That's what I think. If I read this question right. What do you think, Jeff?
I think there's way more money in the industry than people think, and there's way less profits for
There
the
you
people
go.
Yep.
doing it
Yep.
than people think.
Yep. You on the same page?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're on the
Panchito
same
agrees.
page.
He says probably less.
Who?
Panchito. He's
Oh, cool,
giving us
cool.
our comments here.
Shout out, Panchito. You the man. Thanks,
Panchito
brother.
totes.
I pushed the wrong button. All right, so a lot of companies are surviving off blank. So a lot of this is cannabis companies, obviously.
Yeah.
A lot of cannabis companies are surviving off of blank.
I can answer this one. This is easy, so I'll go first. A lot of cannabis companies are surviving off of my fucking paycheck.
Hang on, Jeff.
Panchito, lock in your answer.
All right. All right, go ahead, Jeff.
My paycheck.
Yeah, I'm sure that's true.
All right, fair enough. So there's a lot of companies surviving off of Jeff's paycheck. How about you, Bill?
Reputation.
So they are
Surviving
surviving
off reputation.
off of their reputation.
Yeah.
Interesting. Why'd you say that?
Couldn't think of a better answer.
Okay.
No, it goes back to the whole marketing idea.
Okay. Father?
I'm gonna say sales as far as discounts.
discounted
right now
sales.
it's very
Discount
competitive right now, and the
That's
prices are so competitive
Yeah,
and
you're
so
right.
low. I think that's what they have to do.
They're surviving
to
off of
engage you.
discounted pricing.
Yep.
And I said that they're surviving off of sheer determination because in some cases it's really
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I-
Can't
Right?
be overlooked.
right. Interesting, guys. Interesting way of all of us how we see things. All right, so now we're going to move over. That's the business side. Let's move over to the product side. All right, let's let that
where
roll.
we spend most of our time.
THC percentage is the biggest blank in the industry. Oh, here we go. We need this. This makes it. All right, so the percentage, THC percentage, is the biggest blank in the industry. Okay. All right, we locked in?
Locked in.
All right. All right, who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I think THC percentage is the biggest driver in the industry. It's what everyone looks at.
It's true.
They look at the package, how much, what
But
percentage.
we're trending away from that a little bit at this point.
I'd like to,
because
yeah.
we're starting to see companies focus more on the effects and
Right.
and what you get from it. But that's a very good point, and that is very true.
Yeah, I'm kind of saying what he's saying. I'm saying it's THC is the biggest selling point in
There
the
you go.
industry, because even though there are trends, different trends coming, a lot of people still look at the number.
Okay, fair enough. So you guys are on the same wavelength. How about you, Jeff? Oh,
and
go ahead.
I'm sorry, necessarily doesn't have to be that it's a higher percentage, because depending on what you're looking for a lower percentage
It's
as well.
true, yeah.
So
Yeah.
just
But it's the
percentage
first thing you look
itself.
at on the package.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on. Jeff?
I think THC is the biggest problem in the cannabis industry.
I think Jeff and I kind of went along the same line. I wrote that THC is the biggest lie in the industry because it just doesn't, it's not, it's not the end all be all.
Right.
Well, I'll disagree. So, I was going to say I was kind of split between. I was going to say misconception, but I also don't think it is a misconception. It's just something that you can't go 100% with.
Right.
But it is indicative.
But it is
a factor.
It is a factor.
So it's not
It's
a
not a
myth.
lie.
It's not a lie.
Yeah. All right. So I'll give myself a.
Yeah. We'll scratch your answer.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fucking guys.
Tough room, man.
Yeah, right?
Tough room
Philly
today.
Phil.
I didn't know you could get this wrong and shit.
What was the last question again? How did it read? Because Panchito chimed in here. He says deceiving.
Ah,
Okay, I get that.
Deceiving in the
So-
industry? Is that what you're referring to?
deception.
Deception?
Deception, yeah. All right, cool. That's fair enough. All right, so the product side, most people can't actually tell the difference between. Most people can't actually tell the difference between. I feel like I'm giving the stereotypical answer on this one. Everybody locked in?
Locked in.
All right, go ahead, Jeff. You're first.
Most people can't actually tell the difference between their ass and a hole in their.
Okay, this is about the product, Jeff.
Sorry.
A really tough room
That
today.
was just a general.
Oh, so this is like Hollywood Squares where you give your fucking fake answer first and then you give your real answer?
Most people can't tell the difference between indica and sativa.
Ooh.
That's what I wrote.
That's what I wrote too.
I wrote hemp and marijuana.
That's fair enough. He didn't say
Okay.
where. He didn't say
Okay.
where.
Yeah.
He has,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. What did our boy put on there? Pancho.
Panchito said I think this is in reference to the last question.
Okay.
He says, I agree it isn't a lie. It just shouldn't be looked at as it is.
Amen.
Maybe.
Amen. All right, cool. Let's go to the next one. we're sticking with products. A lot of what's on shelves is actually okay, a lot of what's on the shelves is actually all right. How do you guys like our Jeopardy music without getting a copyright music strike?
It's not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Okay. All right. So I will go first on this one. And I wrote, a lot of what's on shelves is actually mid-tier shit. That's what I put. What do you think, Jeff?
I think a lot of what's on shelves is actually old stock.
Mm,
Old.
I mean,
it's
not
fair
like-
enough.
Yeah, it's just it takes too long to get to that point. You're better off going right with your buddy that grows it.
Yeah.
It's fresh.
Well, I'm along with Jeff because I said to have date issues, and that's not a blanket statement. But a lot of times too, when you have the sales or the great sale or a lot of things are 30%, but those ones that are 40 and 50%, they're normally date issues. Going to be a little bit drier. You know, normally things come out right. They have a year expiration date, and these are the ones probably in the last few months or the last, few months for that.
Well, beyond that, just most states with the regulations, it takes so long to get from the product being made to getting it in the hands of the people because there's all these steps.
Did we all go?
No, I didn't give mine. But I pretty much went along with what everyone else said. I said it's not top grade.
Okay. So I think the consensus is that what's on the shelves could be better. Because we've seen better.
You know what?
We know there's better.
Yeah, there's a lot. We could do a show on that. There's a lot of different factors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep
You
some
know, it's
ideas
like-
going on this.
When you go into the liquor store, you could buy the wine that's right there on the shelf, or you can buy a top grade wine, which is going to be a lot more expensive, or you could even go to a specialty store and pay a lot of money for a bottle of wine.
And we might be headed in that direction before.
that'd be cool if we
Before
did.
it's all done, I think it would be too. All right, so now we're on the dispensary side. This statement says bud tenders don't actually blank. Okay. All right. This was a little harder.
Yeah.
Hope I.
All right.
All right, go ahead.
So I thought this was a tough question, but I'll say bud tenders don't actually touch the actual product.
Some do, some don't.
Yeah, interesting.
Don't actually touch. Yeah, some do, some don't.
I mean, and
You
if
I mean,
they don't-
some dispensaries it comes in completely packaged. It doesn't
packaged.
get opened.
but the ones that have containers that they're gonna
They're
have
not-
gloves or tongs. So I'm actually talking about physically
Okay.
touching it
Okay.
without a barrier.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough. Bill?
I kind of went out on a ledge here. I may be talking up my ass, but I said, don't actually know as much as they appear to know.
Okay.
Now, that said, there are some out there that
There
seem
again, yeah. This is
extraordinarily-
there are some great bud tenders
Right.
that really have taken their
Yeah.
game.
Right.
And I've come across, like, I'm giving a statement that's along the same line, and this doesn't apply to everybody because I've met some great bud tenders. But I think if you're going to say in general, I don't think that they don't actually understand the real medical side of the patient's need. Like
Okay.
when we're talking about when a doctor would interact and want something very specific, I don't think we're at the point with bud tenders where bud tenders can communicate with doctors and then it gets us where we.
I think that's where they had that separation because at these dispensaries, they have that at your disposal where you can have a meeting with the doctor or someone
Their
someone who's
doctor?
medically, someone who has expertise to talk to you in that manner.
Okay.
So I think bud tenders maybe are limited in what they supposed to tell.
So do you think it's unfair that I said that they don't actually understand the nuances of?
Well, I don't want to say it's unfair because that's your opinion, but I think more in general, I think more better of their opinions.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
think they've been pretty good.
Shout out. I love you guys, but I'm just thinking that there's a medical side to this that I don't think we're completely dialed into.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder if there's an opportunity there for someone to make some sort of a certification bureau for bud tenders.
Yeah, I guess there's a possibility.
And
They're
see,
certified.
one more step. I don't know if they want to even go there. And again,
They probably have trade
that's-
schools right now
I
for
think
this.
that's not even where they go. They're separated. They have when you have a dispensary thing, you have to have certain people on your staff, and bud tenders are not there for that purpose. They're just there for you for that count over the counter.
Got you. All right, Jeff.
Yeah, actually, I was going to say the same thing you guys did. My joke part was going to be that bud tenders don't actually tend bud. I mean, for the most part, the guys out front are just clerks. They're just counter guys.
True.
Like, if they actually grow on premise, it's not the bud tenders touching it or growing it. Like, those dudes aren't doing it. There's an actual grower in the back who knows his shit. And my real answer is the bud tenders, for the most part, really don't know anything about weed. You know what I mean? Like, they might know what they like. They might know what people will say, oh, this sells good or that sells good. But from the medical standpoint and the chemical standpoint, like, they don't really know anything about it.
I always ask them, like, what do you like this? Do you like that? And a lot of times I get an answer is, no, I haven't tried that, I think they should,
That's what I'm saying. Like
I mean, in a
certification
restaurant, when you get a server job that serves fine wine and you're training, they're training you on the wine.
Right.
Why are we not doing that?
I gotta give you some recommendations because where I go,
Yeah.
they got some good. They have great recommendations. They've tried pretty much everything I'm looking at.
And that's why I'm saying, like,
So
this is not. This
I have
is not.
a good view of the bud tenders.
This
their
isn't
knowledge.
Yeah, I agree. This isn't a blanket statement.
Yeah. Because I go in and say, hey, how's this? Oh, that's good. They break it down.
All right, let's go again. This one says the dispensary experience is broken because the dispensary experience is broken because all right.
You guys are writing whole sentences. I'm just writing like one or two words.
Well, I needed to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 words.
Yeah, 3. I only needed 3.
You only needed 3?
I only
You're
needed
a
2.
You're a very intelligent man.
I don't know about that. But
Okay.
I'm just short.
All right. So I'll go first, man. Or you go first.
I'll go first.
Okay.
The dispensary experience is broken because no samples. No
Okay.
samples. When you like to go in, the bud tender says, hey, this is really nice. It's got a nice aroma.
Yep.
It does this. It does that. Here, try it. I'm not
Okay.
saying smoke a blunt with the guy at the counter. But
It's I mean that's
I'm going to say the lack of visuals. So, like you said, everything's prepackaged and everything. I like to see the bud in its whole. You know, for me, that'd be a big selling point. Might take me away from the percentages as well.
So what did you write down?
I put the lack of visuals.
Lack of visuals. All right, so I
Now,
wrote
like you said, can't see the bud.
and I think we're all kind of thinking the same thing because what I wrote is the dispensary experience is broken because the consumer is disconnected from their purchase.
there you go. And Panchito says prices in New Jersey.
Yep.
So, disconnect. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I mean, when you go in and you're buying something that's prepackaged, you're taking somebody's word for it. You may not even get to smell it.
Right.
You're making a disconnected purchase. Maybe you bought that last time and you're buying the same thing again. You know what you're getting, but chances are you're not.
Right.
And so you're disconnected. You're going to make a purchase that you can't return, that you have to take home and try it before you even know if you fucking like it or not.
Right.
That's wild.
Well, it's like buying a bottle of wine too, right? You
Okay.
go there and never
It's
had
true.
it. You got to try and get it.
It's true.
Yeah.
I feel like
So-
your answers were all about the symptoms.
What are yours about?
My answer is the source, and that is politicians.
Ha ha.
Oh,
So
I
he
like
looked at
Experience
it.
is broken because
I like it.
politicians-
I like your thinking, Jeffrey.
Yeah, because that's different. We weren't thinking like that. We were thinking.
Jeff is smarter than us.
Yes.
Yeah, so you had 3 words. I had 2.
I don't think so,
Jeff
pal.
had 1.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah, one powerful word.
yeah, I think that's the indication. It's the number of words.
There you go.
Right on. All right, cool. That was a good one. I like that one. Interesting conversations. All right, next one in the dispensaries. Customers think blank, but reality is blank. So
I didn't know there was going to be a test tonight.
it's not a test. It's called a friendly conversation, Bill. Customers think. Okay. I needed the whole time to write this bad
Yeah.
boy out. This is a tough one.
Yeah.
But I did it.
And you know what? That music does work well.
It does do well.
Yeah.
Yep. And then when it's done, you know you're kind of fucking done.
Wrap it up, fellas.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, Todd Father. I
what?
think you are ready on this one.
Well,
No? Okay.
I'm ready.
I mean, I can
I'm
go.
ready.
I can.
Let's,
You want,
let's hear you, Philly.
I'll
Phil.
go first.
Yeah, you have good first.
All right. Customers think that dispensary is rich, but the reality says otherwise. And I got it a little wrong because there's the word "is"
Yeah.
in there.
Okay,
I got the same answer.
What came to my mind?
I got
I'm-
the same answer.
Oh, really?
Customers think it's big money for dispensaries, but the reality is not.
It's not. Okay. We're thinking on the same line, Bill and I.
Well,
Now, if you've got a similar answer to us, you're pissed off right now because you're like, oh, I'm thinking.
no. Well, my answer, I have an answer, but it actually can go both ways.
Okay.
It could go backwards. But I'm gonna start with customers think money, but reality is quality.
Ooh.
Customers think money, but the reality is quality. That's true.
Hmm.
Yeah. Because they're going in with money decisions, and when at the end of the day, you should be getting the best bud
yeah,
you can.
got that dry bud that didn't hit like you thought it would.
Didn't even
know
weigh.
what I'm saying?
Didn't even weigh out.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on. This shit sat so long it didn't weigh out. What do you say, Jeff?
Customers think dispensaries are awesome, but the reality is that the old school drug dealer experience was just a better overall experience.
Yo, they got 2 blanks up here, not 30 of them.
God damn, Jeff, you are fucking. My
He on
man
fire.
is on the fucking spot.
Like I'd still just rather go see my boy play some Nintendo with him, you know, like
That experience.
have
Right.
his mom yell down the stairs. Like, you guys want some Twix?
You fellas want some Hot Pockets?
You know, I'm with you on that, Jeff. Yeah, that's the way to do it.
I just feel like the dispensaries are cold, you know, like the whole experience, especially if you don't go to the same one all the time.
It is.
They
It's.
don't know you.
They are
you know,
kind of
it's-
cold.
Yeah.
It's cold.
It's kind of cold.
Again,
Even rude at some point.
I must be going to some different places because I feel very warm at the places I go to.
But you're a cherished, welcome customer. You're not going to places you haven't really been to.
This is
that
true. I'm
much.
a repeat. And,
you go to a
and the
medical
people, I think,
dispensary?
again, I think the people are just good. That they do their job well. I think where I go.
All right.
So did my boy Dave.
Could-
know what I
you-
mean?
He said, "So
Don't
does my
say his
bull."
name on the air.
He said, "My bull."
Change the name for.
But you know, I do understand when a child father walks in the establishment,
My boy
things need to
Dave.
be on cue.
My boy Dave. That's funny.
That's too
as
funny.
Fucking funny.
We're on to the culture side.
All right, we got a few culture questions, and then we are going to hit a commercial. So let's roll through these. Cannabis culture today is blank compared to before.
Okay.
Okay. This one was a little easier.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Go ahead.
So I'm gonna say cannabis culture today is bigger compared to before.
Oh, yeah.
You think it's bigger?
Yeah.
You don't?
I don't know. I don't see the same vigor that I saw before. I wrote that the cannabis culture today is weakened compared to before.
You know,
That's interesting. as
so
fuck.
you know what? So
I think
so
both are
I
true.
think I could delineate between the two. I
Okay.
think they're both true.
Yeah.
I think that the real, killer had, potheads from back in the day,
Right.
more rugged. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? More hardcore.
Yeah.
But there are more people today. There's some softer guys out there with their
Exactly.
pens and all that stuff is real cute for them now. They got stuff that they can use.
Yeah.
But the real hardcore, but is from back in the day.
Right on.
So the answer I put down was
So more people, but less tough.
What'd you
cannabis
put?
culture today is bland compared to before, and I
Okay.
think that's hitting on the same.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Like back
Yeah,
in
yeah.
back in the '80s, I go into some guy's house. He's only got one eye, and a vicious dog, and that's
But
where I'm
rem-
buying my weed.
But remember,
But now I talk about it with suburban
but
house
re-
moms.
right? But remember, what's coming easy today was a battle back in the
Yeah.
day, and you had to fight for every Z you got.
And it was like a mission, like you going on a big mission to go get your thing.
You don't know what
Mm-hmm.
you're getting. You may not even know where you're going.
You gotta wait.
Shit, you don't even know if you're coming home. Sometimes
You don't know what the wait is.
Nope, and don't ask no fucking questions either.
Motherfucker talking about, I'm a finger it, but he got 3 fingers.
And one eye.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What do you say? What do you say, Jeff?
I said commercialized.
Commercialized.
Cannabis culture
yeah.
today.
Is kind of leads into everything you guys were saying.
Yes.
It's the commercialization of it. It's like the culture from before was smaller and it's bigger now, like Todd said.
Right on.
But the culture before was like an actual subculture, whereas now
Ooh.
it's an advertised.
Break it down, Jeff.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I'm noticing.
down. There you go.
Subculture versus culture. I think that's a
Yes.
great way to put it.
That's what
It's
we
definitely
lost.
more fed
That
to now by
mystique.
advertising executives.
Yeah.
Whereas it was
Yeah, if somebody's
organic.
winning a
It
fucking
was a
prize,
club
if
before.
someone's winning a prize,
Yeah.
it's Jeff tonight.
It was like a secret
know.
club in the past.
Yeah, he's got good answers. All right.
I'm not taking an IQ test with Jeff.
All right. The authentic image in weed is actually, what does this say? The authentic image in weed is actually blank. Fuck.
I'm not even
What
sure
the fuck does that mean?
If all four of us do not think this is a good question, we can skip it.
The authentic
The real
Image.
image of weed is actually
and
white.
weed is
I'm thinking, like, when you think of weed culture, what image
let's-
comes
let's-
to mind?
the authentic image. And weed is actually.
All right. I think I know what I'm putting. Okay. I'm locked in. Jeff?
I'm locked in.
Yeah, my first thought is just that, like somebody mentioned like what the image of weed is, and I think the 7, the pot leaf, the 7-leaf pot leaf or whatever. I think that's like the image that I think most people.
Oh, okay,
think
okay.
of.
I got you. I got you.
I
And
wasn't
find
even
it
thinking.
funny.
I wasn't even thinking that way.
Me either. I'm kind of like that, but in a different realm. But you're on a different plane, Jeff.
Yeah,
Jeff's
I just think it's
thinking
funny
very
though,
different.
because like it's like the worst part of the plant. You know what I mean? Like you rip those off. Like you're not smoking the cover
Okay,
leaf.
so
Yet that's the image that people
that classic image of a
recognize.
weed
as
leaf.
being
Right back here.
Okay, I like that. I like that. That's a very good answer.
Yep.
What
But
you
that's
got?
not what you
What
don't
you
smoke
got,
that.
Bill?
That's a great answer.
I put down that the authentic image in weed is actually not Spicoli.
Okay, Bill.
Right? I mean, when you look at who's using weed nowadays, it's not, yo, dude.
That's true.
We got to get some gnarlies.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I feel like Pauly Shore set the whole stoner image back like 30 years.
I think it was
back in
Pauly
the
Shore
90s.
and
Yeah.
what's that guy's name? Sean Penn.
Yeah. What do you got?
So I kind of the authentic image in weed is actually plants. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. And I wrote on mine the authentic image in weed is actually a healing medicine. I don't know if I got that. If I'm,
Yeah, this is an oddly worded question.
Yeah, it was
so
definitely-
I feel like you could go anywhere.
but Jeff actually hit the nail on the head with this one.
Yeah, this one of them high IQ joints only Jeff can get.
Yeah.
Culture side 3.
All right.
People in the industry pretend to be blank, but really they're blank.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. This has got to be less than 5 words, Phil.
I'm reading the whole sentence so I'm able to read it. This is 2 words that are answered.
You wasting ink.
All right.
Wow.
All right. I don't know. Whatever.
You know you can't read that, Phil.
Shut the fuck up. All right. Here we go. I'm gonna go not first. Jeff.
People in the industry pretend to be sober, but really they're high.
Okay. Todd.
That could be true.
It could be.
I'm going to say people in the industry pretend to be cool, but they're really nerds.
I think that's definitely true.
I wrote
Yeah.
people.
I mean nerds in a good respect. You know, business acumen. You know, they counting their money.
Yeah.
I wrote people.
Then they go home
doing their
and they
business
play
plan.
Dungeons and Dragons.
All right. So I put in here people in the industry pretend to be big, but they're really not.
Oh. It's a good observation.
Okay, I like that too. It is an industry that is a good feel industry, and you can make you feel on top of the world. Some things, some people can stay grounded, and some people, some
you have
things
to-
take them to certain
And this is an
places.
industry where you have to fake it till you make it too, right?
This is true.
I know
All
a
right.
lot of people are doing it.
Yeah?
Yep. Amen.
Okay, I don't think this is everybody in the industry, but a lot of people in the industry pretend that they're about helping people, that they're about the medicine, that they're about the culture, and really they're about the money. Because you can be about the culture, you can be about the plant, and you can be about weed by sitting at home and smoking it. You don't get into a big industry and try to make a big business out of it unless you're about the money.
This is true.
It's
I mean,
true.
the things that people don't want to talk about, but Jeff is breaking it down.
It's true. It's true. It's true. It's true. It's true. All right. Was that the last one?
Media marketing side.
Oh shit! All right, hurry up. Let's work through
Social
these.
media treats cannabis creators like
Easy.
Second-class citizens.
I'm not even gonna. Do I need to play the music?
Nah. Let's just rip through this
All
fast.
right, I'm locked in.
All right.
Yeah, social media treats the cannabis creators like shit.
Yep.
That's easy. I mean, you could put second-class citizens. You could put all kinds of shit in there.
Yeah.
All right, take
Criminals.
it easy. Take it easy.
Treats creators like they're stupid. I mean,
All right, so
Like
what's
they're
your-
criminals.
okay, we got you. I'm going to say like creators like they're underground.
Yeah.
I think that's a nice way to put it.
I
Jeff?
think in general, people treat stoners like they're stupid,
Like they're
like
stupid.
they're not intelligent.
Amen. Next.
Biggest problem with cannabis content right now.
Okay. Is
I'm ready for that one.
all right. All right, here we go. You want to go?
Yeah. The biggest problem with cannabis content right now is regulations. Too many regulations.
I put the biggest problem with cannabis content right now is that most of it is shadow banned and not monetized.
I put down it's low quality content.
Good point, Jeff.
Yeah, low quality and not enough of it.
There you go. I think we're all on the same similar page on that one.
Yeah.
All right. Last one. Brands don't understand blank when it comes to marketing.
Okay, this is a quick, easy one for me.
Okay. That was one word for me to get in that one. All right, Jeff, you're first, baby, because then we're going to go to commercial, so we'll get you
I
first.
think most brands just don't understand their target audience.
Bingo.
You know what I mean? Like, I think most of them are corporate stoners, and they don't know what us, like, bottom tier, boots on the ground stoners really want.
You're right, Jeff. I meet more and more people that are in this industry that don't even fucking partake.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a few that myself too, and it's so funny, and that makes me feel ignorant to say, "Oh, that's shocking." Like everyone's supposed to be the same.
Yeah. Well, I don't care if I'm ignorant. I'll say that. I mean,
Yeah.
I do find it shocking that you'd be in a business where
Right.
that's not a product that you don't use.
Well, can you get me the person that does smoke weed?
Fucking.
I'll wait if they're on lunch break.
You are fake news.
He likes people that doesn't get caught in war.
Right.
Todd only wants the smart fucking people. All right. So, guys, they are some of the industry truths
Interesting.
that people don't say out loud.
I have one answer. One. I have to give you my answer for the last one.
Oh, I'm
And
sorry.
They don't understand conservation,
Okay.
right? Too much packaging.
And that's what I wrote. Oh, my answer, too. I didn't give my answer. Is go back with question, whatever that said. My answer was packaging.
Yeah, it's just too damn much.
Yeah. They don't understand packaging as it relates to marketing. They think that that's hand in hand.
More packaging is better.
Yeah, and I don't think that. Guys, make sure you watch out for our 420 special. That special is coming out on 420, obviously. We're doing a 10-hour broadcast. We are going to take a quick break. When we come back, Bill will be on the news desk. He's going to take the express elevator. And then I think my mic was off. I must have hit the button.
Oh.
And then we'll do some news stories. We're going to hit the strain of the day, and we're going to call it a night. We'll see you guys right after these words.
Marijuana is huge.
So many dispensaries have resorted to a bland, impersonal shopping experience, where you often don't even get to see a sample of the cannabis you're planning on purchasing before you buy it. If you're looking for that extra personal touch, come check out High Roller Dispensary in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Our staff are avid cannabis connoisseurs who are sure to help you find the strains that fit you best. Whether you're looking for premium flower, edibles, concentrates, or tinctures, we have you covered with over 100 different strains to choose from, all of which are able to be seen, smelled, and thoroughly examined in our elegant showroom. If you're in a rush, we offer a seamless online ordering system that allows for in-depth exploration of all that we have to offer. So whether you're a novice or a seasoned stoner, be sure to stop by High Roller Dispensary and we'll make sure you're floating on cloud 9 by the time you leave.
It's right around here, 15 inches, maybe if you're younger, you go up to 19 inches, you know? Yeah, you know, you already want the big end.
Sometimes a CIO might make commitments to a CEO that they just can't fulfill. And it's very hard to succeed in those environments. You really want to be able to set the expectation right up front.
How would you feel with no sex, no weed for a month or two? I'm going to be really angry.
I just feel sorry for Jake.
Yeah, Jake's going to get fucked up.
Wow, this is Phil. Yeah, for this is all you. This is the Cough Country OG pink hoodie.
Hey, I'm OG Ganja Goddess, and you're watching Cough Country TV. Peace.
This is Chef Marvin Jane, and you're watching Cough Country TV, live from New York.
Alrighty, we are back, guys. What's going on? I think that was an interesting segment. Can you pull Bill's chair in for me? Because that shit drives me crazy. You know me. But yeah, I thought that was a good segment because it kind of brought out how we think about some of the similar things, how
all the
we all
different
think,
angles,
all the different angles of it. So I enjoyed that a bunch. All right. And I hope that you guys did too. So give me a second here. I got to bring Bill in. All right. Hang on a second, guys.
So you think everyone's getting excited because 420's coming up? You know, it's like Christmas. You know it's coming in a month from now, so you get you're amped up.
Yeah, and plus we're like working on the show already for on the 20th, so it feels like it's closer than it even is, right?
Man, you know what I'm thinking about right now? Like you said, it's Christmas. What do you want for Christmas? You think about it a few months before, or what do you want for Hanukkah? So I'm just thinking about the magical buds that I want to partake in on that day.
The buds, the food, the people, all of that stuff.
I can't wait for dinner.
The King's Feast.
Can't wait for dinner.
Yeah, we're going to have a King's Feast.
It's going to be a
guys.
mess. Yeah.
All right, Bill, did you take the express elevator?
I just got off the elevator. I'm just settling in. I was going to run up because I've been trying to work out lately, trying to be a little healthy. So I was going to take the steps, but I figured I'll take them on the way down.
Okay, good for you, Bill.
Yeah, well, you got to do what you do.
All right. Well, isn't that special? All right, so we're going to pull you down just a hair. I'm working on your sound. What is cooking in the wide world of cannabis news? What are we missing? What do we need to share our opinions with you on?
Well, Phil, as always, there's a lot going on. And I covered some of these stories last week on the news show, but we'll just recap them tonight. First one we're looking at here is in San Francisco. They're looking to roll out a new ordinance which will allow cannabis cafes.
Where's this?
in San Francisco.
Shitty San Francisco.
San Francisco. Now, come on, let's not put them down too badly. You can now consume, well, not yet, but if the ordinance passes, you'll be able to consume your cannabis right along with your food in a non-alcoholic venue. Sounds pretty exciting, right?
It does sound exciting. So basically, the leadership in San Francisco created an ordinance that allows for the cannabis cafes to exist.
Right.
And do they exist in dispensaries or they exist
outside of dispensaries?
Outside of dispensaries.
Yes. So they have to amend some health codes and police codes and business and planning and regulations. But once they have all that in line, they'll allow cannabis lounge services.
Okay.
Yeah. So it should be fun.
Okay, that's a good move forward. I like that.
Yeah.
And, you know, California, the innovators.
Yeah.
So
Well,
this is another step.
And their reputation's not particularly stellar right now. So, you know, doing things like this, I think, is probably good in a time where you're not doing other things that people want you to do.
Yep.
All right.
Do you have something particular in mind with that comment?
What else we got?
We got a story. We got a story on this. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead and play the video.
It's not. Oh, go ahead.
We can't hear
Ordinance is
it.
presented in hopes to clear the path for that to become a reality. NBC Bay Area's Ginger Conejero Saab live for us in San Francisco. And Ginger, it really has already been quite the journey to get this far. So how soon are we talking about when we could see those pot cafes in the city?
Well, Marcus, it might still be a while. It has already been a year since state legislation opened the doors for cities and counties to decide on cannabis cafes for themselves. So the announcement that was made outside City Hall here this morning is really just a first step, but it is a significant one for cannabis retailers here in the city who are looking to expand their menus and consequently their businesses. So earlier this morning, Assemblymember Matt Haney, who made changes at the state level, announced that he and Board of Supervisors President Raphael Mandelman are introducing a local ordinance that changes the rules for cannabis retailers here in the city. That ordinance will amend the health code, the police code, the business and tax code, as well as the planning code to enable cannabis retailers to prepare and serve food and non-alcoholic beverages at cannabis lounges.
We want to help the existing businesses, existing legal businesses that are actually struggling. So we're giving them a little bit of a head start in terms of applying for these permits. But we also want to make sure that, you know, there are actually cannabis cafes, and that if none of the existing retailers take advantage of it, that that maybe someone out there will.
Okay.
Thank you for that report, Ginger.
What I found interesting, Bill, is that it said on there that it's non-cannabis food, non-cannabis drink. So what does it mean? That you can have food and drink, and you can smoke there?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me.
You can have food and non-alcoholic drinks.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's kind of cool, though.
Listen, I
think it's very cool.
I think it's cool, but you know what would be cooler is if they went all the way and the drinks and the food were medicated
you can't have it all in a day.
But they do it in they do it in
You can't
baby
have
steps.
it all in a day.
They do it in Arizona.
Yeah, but every place is different.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
Baby steps. But I think it'd make a great Sunday
gonna
brunch.
have that stuff,
Yeah,
but they can also
I like it. I think it's progress. They're going the good way, and I like
At least
the
they're not
angle
serving alcohol.
I like that they're emphasizing the people that already had the businesses already who are struggling.
Right.
You know, they're trying to help.
No, I'm okay
Exactly.
with it. I'm
That's
okay
big.
with
I
it.
like that.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. All right, what else is? And Bill, hey, listen, guys, make sure you go like and subscribe over on Cough Country News, because you will get these stories before you get them here.
If you're interested in a more formal presentation of the news,
what do you
come
mean?
on over to the news.
Well, you don't play farting sounds during your videos?
Generally, no.
No third grade stuff on your show.
If you hear a fart sound during the news program, it's an actual fart.
Okay, Bill. Thanks. What else is going on?
Well, we have the story about Alex Berenson. If we want to talk about that one again, or
No.
Okay.
No, it's good.
I didn't think so. So we're going to jump ahead to. We have a study that challenges the negative cannabis stereotypes.
Really?
And it's claiming to link to brain benefits.
Oh.
Which is something nobody expected in the past, correct? All right?
This may explain something, but I want to hear more about this. I want to hear more about this.
A new study suggests that cannabis may be linked to larger brain volume and improved cognitive performance.
What do you know? What do you know?
Hey now. In some adults. Now let's stress again, right? Not kids,
everybody.
Not kids
everybody.
and not everybody. Yes.
Okay.
Right. So generally it's older adults, as a matter of fact, 40 and above, 60 and above. And what it may actually be doing is slowing down cognitive decline.
Well, I'm going to give you guys a little teaser. We've got a guest coming in on Thursday that is specifically coming to talk about cannabis for seniors. And I'm very interested in this conversation.
Yeah, that should be a good one.
Is it Wilford Brimley?
It is not.
Please let it be Wilford Brimley. No? Ah, damn it.
Nope.
So they tested over 26,000 adults ages 40 to 77.
That's a lot of people.
Using brain scans and cognitive tests. And if you're a moderate lifetime user, it looks like you have a larger brain volume in certain regions of the brain, better scores in learning, processing speed, and executive function.
I think you guys are watching a living example at this table of this at work.
It's who we be.
We can't help it. We rolled the dice, Bill. We said that this is either going to make us smarter or dumber, and we'll figure it out down the road. And looks like we were right.
It sounds like the government is coming through and letting us know you picked right.
Man, that is good news. Man.
Brain areas affected are memory, information processing, emotion regulations. However, some brain regions showed lower volume with higher use.
Uh-oh.
Yes. They didn't really get into it.
What region?
They didn't get into it.
Okay. Shit.
They say the study is observational and the link is not proof that cannabis affects you in any particular way. But this is like we talked about before, right? By rescheduling it from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3, now we can do the tests.
Yes.
Now we can do the experiments. Now we can do the science.
I agree, and that's definitely one of the benefits.
Definitely.
Like they were implying something.
Let's see. You want to do another one?
Sure.
Well, we need to talk about Aiden Holloway.
Who's that?
Aiden Holloway is a guard for the Alabama Crimson
Yeah,
Tide.
I know who
this
is.
poor guy. He was arrested on felony drug charges.
Did you hear about this?
I'm not sure if I heard about this, but let's hear about it.
They found just about 2.1 pounds of marijuana in his apartment during a search. Now, why they were conducting the search in the first place is not clear from the story, but they were doing a search and they found just about 2.1 pounds.
2.1?
Yes, which is just below Alabama's threshold for drug trafficking.
Thank God.
So he didn't get charged with that. But I mean, here's this poor guy. What is he? He's a college student.
Yep.
He's maybe 20, 21.
In the midst of the biggest part of the season.
Yes.
March
Madness.
He missed the tournament.
He's going to be charged with first-degree marijuana possession, which is not for personal use.
Bullshit.
And failure to affix a tax stamp.
A what?
A tax stamp. Right.
What does that mean?
So, like, if you're going to sell marijuana, you have to have a tax stamp indicating.
Okay, you're making money.
Yeah, are they going to charge illegal sales with tax stamp shit? Are you
know what I'm
fucking
saying?
kidding me?
Ain't they when a gangster off the underground?
God damn, like, you're going to charge him with a retail crime.
And he ain't even retail.
And he ain't even retail and shit.
Right.
God damn.
Selling marijuana without a storefront. He was released on a $5,000 bond shortly after his arrest, and the University of Alabama removed him from campus.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Man. He got removed from campus.
And he was suspended from the team pending investigation.
What do you think about that, man?
Poor guy.
Well,
like, I feel bad for him, but at the same time, like, you know, college players get paid nowadays.
This is where I was ready to go. My problem is they get paid handsomely. He didn't need to do that.
Nope.
Yeah.
He didn't need to do that.
And if it was
I
just
could see you just had some head stash, you had an ounce or something.
It wasn't a head stash.
You know,
Yeah.
I know that. But,
2.1
you didn't need to
pounds.
have a couple pounds. So,
No.
yeah.
Right?
I'd like to
2.1
point out-
pounds. Jeff, you want to chime in on that?
Yeah, the reason it was 2.1.
That's pretty
specific-
explanatory.
We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Hello?
His
the
attorney argues that there's no proof he was selling marijuana. So I guess the argument will be this is my personal stash.
That's a
Yeah,
hard.
it could be.
Yeah.
That's a hard argument to make.
I know, but you know, you got
You got to try something.
smoke a lot of weed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeff, what do you think? Okay. All right. So his mic is giving him a hard time in there. So I'm sure he's has certain feelings about it. I don't fucking know. All right. What else?
All right. Well, next up we have 11-year-olds being treated for a cannabis use disorder.
Here we go.
Doctors at Children's National Hospital report a rise in young patients with cannabis use disorder. Some patients being treated as young as 11 years old. Is that a cough effect or is somebody actually coughing?
Yeah. Todd might have been coughing.
So the kids are actually reporting that it's easy to get it. They either get it from an older sibling or they purchased it directly, which is a stunning and
I mean,
terrible thing.
I think that, I mean, you said 11 years old, right?
Yeah.
That's
as young as.
As young as.
Yeah, so
probably
most
not
of the ones that are
average.
purchasing are going to be older than that.
Yeah.
I hope so.
And even still, people know that they're young, but it's not 11-year-olds going up in there and buying stuff.
Now, does it mention any type of parental responsibility in this? Or?
No, it really doesn't. Cannabis use disorder is described as serious mental condition, memory and concentration problems, sleep issues, anxiety, hallucinations, psychosis, behavioral changes. Yeah, and they're saying these kids are using high dosage, high potency cannabis products regularly. There you go.
Yeah, too young to be hitting it that hard.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that's for the next story. The Nan gummies, exotic dragon fruit. Yeah, let's talk about that one. That's a fun one.
Oh.
There's currently no medications that can treat cannabis use disorder, and
because it's not real.
Because it's not real, and experts emphasize a need for greater awareness and prevention. And I think we all agree with that. Let's keep the kids out of your stash.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think we all agree on that. But, again, this is sensationalism because as young as 11, it makes a better headline.
Yes.
It got us talking about it.
It's not the norm.
It's not the norm. And then we're back to this whole CHS bullshit again. So I want to make it through a show without talking about CHS or scromining.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know if we can.
Can you guys hear me now?
But the next one, and Jeff just had the graphic up for it. This one is just unbelievable. There was a substitute teacher in Sierra Elementary School in Lancaster, California. Now, when I did the news, I said a Florida man, but then I had to change it to California woman. And I hope this isn't the new thing, but this woman was a substitute teacher. She was caring after 3 children, 8 to 11, and it was one of the kids' birthdays. And she thought it would be appropriate to give these kids cannabis gummies. She gave them each, ready? 20 milligrams. A 20 milligram gummy each for these kids.
Man, they used to give out black licorice back in the day and shit. That's what I
Man,
times have changed.
Man, I wish they gave me a fucking gummy when I was in school. 20 milligrams.
Could you imagine 20 milligrams?
So
I
what
mean,
happened?
20 milligrams when 20 milligrams would have fucking done something to you back in the day.
Yeah, so what happened to them?
The kids became lethargic, became physically ill and lethargic. They were taken to the hospital. They were treated for poisoning.
Man, them kids is weak as hell.
Shut the fuck up.
Wait a
Wow.
second. What are these?
All
Wait
3
a
of them.
second.
Not one of them was handling.
We got fucking put that picture up full screen.
The one poor kid
fuck is
reported
that?
I can't feel my body.
Man, that's
Oh,
some,
look at this. He's got a
that's some
SpongeBob
bullshit.
shirt on.
This ain't real.
That's some bullshit right there.
So you're telling me that this is just a spot where a bunch of kids? These are the kids, actual
I
kids?
don't know. I don't know if these are the actual kids. I never saw this graphic before. Jeff, where'd this come from?
You don't know where it came from.
Shit, not one of them was handling, huh?
He got the SpongeBob shirt on.
But I mean, this fucking substitute teacher, I can't throw her in the pond. Or
Is she?
something like.
Where is she at? Jail? Is she in jail?
Yeah, let's see. She should be in jail. Court proceedings expected in June. She's probably out on bail at this point. And her name's Felicia Boyd, by the way. I'm not going to let her get away with that.
Can you imagine giving fucking kids fucking gummies and shit, and you're supposed to be the caretaker?
Right.
That's just ill-advised.
Substitute teacher in an after-school program. Happy birthday, Joey. Here you go. Get high as balls. Ugh.
It wasn't a birthday party?
It was one of the kids' birthdays. It doesn't say it was a birthday party, but they were in an after-school session, and it happened to be one of the kids' birthdays. And I don't know, maybe Felicia said, hey, it's your birthday. You know what you should try?
Well,
little SpongeBob gummy.
I never had a birthday party at school like that.
No.
I mean, it's wrong for the teacher to do it, but, you know, thinking in retrospect, that'd have been pretty fun to have like a birthday celebration and got the edibles.
When I was that age, and I was in school, and Sister Mary Charles Bronson, she didn't give us any shit at all. You weren't getting any gummies off of her.
She fucking whacked your hands with a ruler.
If you got gummies off of her, it meant she knocked your teeth out, and now you had gummies.
Well, Bill, what a beautiful fucking presentation you just did.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. We do have one final story. We can do it or we can skip it. It's up to you.
We're going to skip it because we're going to get into the strain of the day. So, Bill, I am going to thank you for the news.
Oh, well, it's my pleasure, Phil.
And then I will see you back over here for the Moonlight.
I'm taking the steps this time. I'm doing the steps.
The Stoner Moon Sesh. So, all right, it's cool. We're going to talk about the strain of the day. Bill, we'll see you in a minute. All right, Todd Father. Now, let's talk about what we got for the strain of the day. Can we do that?
My man, we got music.
Yeah, Jeff probably has us all hooked up.
You know I need to set this thing up.
All right, let's go. Let's see it. We got it. We got our music.
It's the late night green strain of the day.
All right.
You know we got it.
The late night green strain of the day brought to you by us. Let's go.
So, let's talk about it. Let's talk about this strain, Gelinade.
Do we need Mary for this?
You see what Mary got to say? You know, I'll finish it off. Let Mary do her little short description.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Then I'll finish it off.
All right. Let's see if we can make this happen. Okie dokie. All right, Mary Jane, good evening. Welcome to the Late Night Green Show. You're live, so what we wanted to ask you this evening is could you tell us a little bit about the strain of the day today, which is called Gelinade. Gelinade.
Absolutely, Philly Phil. Good evening, everyone. So tonight we're diving into Gelinade. This is a beautiful hybrid strain. It's a cross of gelato and lemon tree, and it's known for the super sweet citrusy aroma, kind of like a fresh lemonade with a creamy undertone. It delivers a balanced buzz, uplifting, happy, but still really relaxing. So if you're looking for a mood boost and a nice clean high, Gelinade is the way to go.
All right. Mary Jane, very
yeah,
well.
absolutely.
Very well.
So if anyone's tuning in and thinking about trying it, just keep in mind it's got a moderate THC level, so it's perfect for both daytime and evening use. And as always, let us know how you like it. Drop a comment if you've tried Gelinade before.
All right. And she's right, talking about the modest THC levels between 22 and 26%.
Okay.
It gives you a super delicious flavor and a long-lasting heavy high. It's a great flavor.
Head high?
Yes. Heavy high. It's 70% sativa, 30% indica.
Okay. And what you guys are looking at right now is the actual microscope picture. It's on the table right here, so we are giving you guys a deep dive look into it. Yeah. We're going to have to get back into getting inside the bud. We need to do that.
Yeah, we need to get inside the bud.
Fuck yeah.
A couple of things that this strain may relieve is anxiety, chronic pain, depression, fatigue, and stress. The aromas are berry, citrus, earthy, sour, sweet, and vanilla.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's definitely a strain to behold.
I love this is like very, I don't know, man. It's very summertime. It's a thing going on.
That's
here.
a nice photo.
It is. I like it a lot. So Gelinade, never heard of it before. Never tried it before.
Me, this first time coming in contact with this, and I'm very happy that I did.
All right, cool. So here's what's going to happen, guys. I'm going to give you the ending of the formal show. We're going to move into the Stoner Moon Sesh here in a minute. But let me give you some just quick announcements. Make sure that you tune in on Friday for the Canologist at 7 p.m. Steve's got a new drink. Give him a like, follow, subscribe. That's Steve. We also want to make sure that you head over to Cough Country News and support our boy Bill over there. Give him a like, a follow, subscribe. There's Cough Country News. Make sure that you get over there and check that out. Also, make sure that you're getting all of the messages for 420 Across America. That's our live 10-hour broadcast. That's coming up on 420. Many more announcements to come, but you can see it on the screen right there. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to come down off of all of our platforms except for Rumble right now. If you guys want to hang out for the Moon Sesh, come over to Rumble. We are going to relight the set, and we're going to get serious and try this strain and tell you guys what we think. So, Jeff,